Hi, Vod Watchers. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're taking care of yourselves. I know it's been a while, but hey, I never said I was going to do this like one after the other after the other. It was only when I had time, and it's been the holidays. It's been a lot of sick days. It's been 1,001 things. I want to start off by saying thank you to everyone that's been extremely respectful, but also fuck you to everyone that hasn't. Just straight up about it. Those individuals that have come through and have, in a way, been nothing but nasty, disrespectful, sent horrible emails, or tried to go ahead and peer pressure me, or come through and say, "Hey, you know what? Like, you're trash. Where's the rest of Takopi? Why can't you do this?" We have a schedule for a reason, right? And we were gonna watch Takopi whenever we had the ability to go ahead and sit down and watch it, right? One of the most important things is to be kind to one another, be respectful to one another. And that was one of the main concerns that I had going into this. I do want to say, regardless, though, I'm really excited to finish up this episode of Takopi episode 1 because I think it has a lot of amazingness to go into it. However, it's interesting to note that y'all hate on one of the characters for being a bully, and yet that's exactly what you're doing. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, does it? Womp womp. Overall, what I'm saying is Takopi is such an amazing story. Like part 1 and part 2 of episode 1 that we watched has had its own amazing merits of like taking it apart, watching it, analyzing it, so on and so forth. It's been so good, and I'm really excited and really happy to see sort of where this continues. Don't mean to be a downer with that, but just wanted to go and highlight that, as there has been a lot of positivity, a lot of amazingness, but I also wanted to highlight that there's been some negativity surrounding it as well. With that being said, let's jump right into it. Don't mean to make it blue.
お話がハッピーを生むんだっぴ。
タコピーはマリナちゃんと話したことがないから、そんな風に言えるんだね。
ピ？そんなことはピ。もしかしてものすごい大喧嘩だっぺか？勝手にハッピープリンを食べちゃったとか。でも仲直りしないと。ピ。だったら。
Oh no,
静香ちゃ
child.
んの一部を取り込んでスイッチを押すと。
Oh no, child.
相手の姿に変身できるんだっぴ。
Oh no, child. What you will probably experience is the hatred of humanity, right? The evilness that really comes through and shines at times like this. Oh no, child.
静香ちゃんはトイレで待ってて。僕がお話ししてくるっぴから。
I don't think that's good.
僕が代わって二人を仲直りさせちゃうっぴ。おっそー。大変な喧嘩だってちゃんとお話しすればきっと。
Here's the thing is, not everything can be resolved by talking, right? Most things can, which is why we keep talking about being a great communicator, about like being able to sit down and communicate with your partners, communicate with loved ones, communicate with individuals that you genuinely care about. But not everything can be solved through communication. Sometimes things have to be closed for a reason. Sometimes things have to, like, chapters must close and you don't get full closure or whatnot, and it is what it is, right? There are unfortunately people that are suffering or going through their own battles and don't want to get a full conclusion or full closure with you or communicate with you in any capacity. And to that, you must just live your own life, right? And it's hard. It's hard at times. Also, hi, Evie.
ごめんぴ。何その喋り方。変なの。あのね、マリナちゃん。ちょうど僕もお話ししたいと思ってて。
Ooh. Oh, hell no. Oh.
いや、キモいってその話し方。やめてって言ってんの。ごめんぴ。急にアニオタか？ 僕とかピとかキモいのは知ってたけど嫌だからやめてね。
Oh.
ごめんなさい。
って話なんだけど、お前最近さ調子乗ってるよね。給食とか
あれ話すっていうか、ほっぺが熱いっぴ。
That's it. So
ハッピー星ではあんなに強く相手を触ることはないっぴ。
now you're
立
recognizing
てないっ
that.
ぴ。なんか涙は。あれ
何？
怖い。
Oh.
ちゃんと話聞こうよ。
Oh no.
マリナちゃん、
And of course, the adults aren't anywhere near present for this, right? Or checking the perimeter during lunchtime or whatnot. Or the teachers, as we've noticed, don't even care the fact that she's getting bullied in any capacity. But the thing is, and I do wonder how many people when this show first came out hated Marina? How many people hated the girl in yellow? Maybe absolutely detested her in every single capacity without realizing the fact that hurt kids, like hurt people hurt people. So more than likely, she's going through her own form of trauma, right? And she doesn't have a safe way of letting that out or a safe person to help her process that. So she's taking it out on somebody else that she feels she can let it out, right? And is it okay? No, not by any means, any capacity. However, it showcases that there are two individuals that are hurt in this scene, right? Even though I wanted to. Oh, I can imagine that there was probably a lot of individuals, maybe even streamers, that were just yelling and screaming at her and whatnot, you know?
気安く呼ぶなって。
Whoa.
映るからアバズレが。
Evie, what would you do if you saw two kids fighting like this?
怖い。痛い。声が出ないっぴ。辛い。泣きたい。逃げたい。
I hate to ask this, but I'm gonna ask it. How many of y'all have been bullied like this? How many are like in some capacity, how many of y'all, not even like this, but have been bullied in general? Like have gotten to a point where you felt unsafe to go to school or to hang out with friends or with people that you thought were friends because of the bullying that was happening. And how did you deal with it?
でもマリナちゃん、あのね、マリナちゃんがなんでこんなことするのかわからないけど、でも話せばきっとわかるはずだから。
True.
お前にだけは言われたくない。この人間のクズ。
Oh.
男に寄生して生きてるアバズレの娘が道徳語ってる暇あるならパパを返してよ。
マリナちゃん、待って。
だからその喋り方やめろって。
あ、これ無理だ。
タコピー？
Yeah. So Marina-chan is internalizing and blaming and blaming her for taking her dad. Give back dad. But that's an issue on their parents for, number one, yeah, I know, look at Takopi just absolutely crying, sweating there, right? That's an issue on adults, right? And that's the thing is, as adults, sometimes we're really fucked up. We're supposed to be the role models, right? We're supposed to be the role models for kids. But oftentimes, what we're showcasing is nothing but our flaws. I saw a parent ask why one of their kids was being a little hypersexual and like trying to go around and kiss like other kids. And I asked him, well, has there been any changes in the household? And they were like, oh, no, not really. My wife and I got in an argument because, I've been bringing, I got caught with some of my side individuals and, they were there to witness it and there was drama at work because of it. And it's like, oh, so you're telling me that you've been displaying this behavior and your kid recognized the behavior that you're displaying it and has normalized it. That's called norming, right? For a reason. Hence why whenever you see kids with aggressivity, and you see, yeah, exactly, Evie. Because like hypersexuality in kids, is it normal? It depends. There's a limit to it, right? But when it passes a certain limit, you can absolutely be sure there's some sort of norming happening at like in life in some capacity, or some sort of essay, right? Probably by a family member or someone close to them. But as we're focusing in on this, their aggressivity is also a trait where they don't feel like they have any control, right? Either one, the parents have full control of their lives and they feel like they're losing everything in that capacity. So, what a way for Marina to get controlled into by legitimately torturing and bullying someone in order to feel like they have an outlet. Oof. Oof. That is the key word for. I bring this up all the time. It's a defense mechanism. It's a defense mechanism. What is she doing, chat? What is she doing? Displacement. Expressing feelings that would be threatening if directed at a real target onto a less threatening substitute. She can't take these feelings out on her dad, so she's taking it out on her. 100%. 100%.
明日の宿題の答えはマリナちゃんはなんであんなことをするんだっぴか。そうだ、確か
お前最近さ調子乗ってるよね。給食とか宿題もさ自信満々に答えちゃって。
あれもしかして。
Oof.
カッコ2は162です。
僕のせいだっぴ。
The more that they get involved, the more real it gets. Oof.
じゃあ行ってくるね。
Oh no.
僕のせいで静香ちゃんがひどい目に遭う。やっぱり僕が変わってあげるべきだっぴ。
Here's the thing is, by getting involved in either side, how long before you have a switch and you start recognizing that maybe there's more to the other side as well? I wonder how, like, the more that Takopi gets involved, the more that, like, yes, can you lead people towards a peaceful resolution? I'm sure, way sure. But how much is this going to change Takopi? Like, internally speaking.
今度こそうまく仲直りできるかも。早く行くっぴよ。行くっぴ。
Yeah, fear. Fight, flight, freeze, fall, and flop. Oh.
怖くて一歩も動けないっ
Oh.
ぴ。静香ちゃんを助けたいのに、変わってあげたいのに。僕は育児なしだから。
Oh.
でも。
And yet they still do it.
先生誰か体育館倉庫に助けて。僕にできることがあったら何でも言ってよ。
Oh.
東くん、次の学級会の議題にしようか。来週の
This kid seems way too smart to not recognize sort of what's going on. And sometimes the bystander effect at times can create a lot of guilt as well. You know, even though he might be a good kid, he might be under a lot of pressure, but also noticing and recognizing what's going on, but not being able to act on it because you fear that it will disrupt something, or you fear interfering and causing something bigger than it should be, can lead to a lot of guilt and can lead towards a lot of suppression of emotions as well. You know,
水曜だから。うん。本当に大丈夫だから。じゃあ。違う先生に相談するとかは？ 体育のほどや先生とか僕は児童会でよく会うから、あの人ちょっと怖いし。どうせ変わらないよ。じゃあね。
Ooh, that hopelessness.
じゃあ。
さっきの子はいいんだっぴか？
うん。
そうだっぴか。静香ちゃん、ごめん。
タコピーが助けてくれたんでしょ。先生が不思議がってたよ。クゼが呼びに来たのにクゼが殴られてたって。
Oh,
そのおかげで顔だけで済んだ。
oh, Shizuka. Shizuka, that's not normal, Shizuka. Shizuka, that's not a normal thing to like norm and like normalize and say, "Oh yeah, thanks to you." Like I get it, it's less than the previous beatings, but you should never get touched and or hurt in any capacity, right? Fighting against the bystander effect is so hard. Yeah, when you ask your friends to also fight, they refuse. It's yeah, it can make you feel like you're doing the wrong thing as well, right? To even bring something up, to even bring up the aspect that like, hey, you're confused or you're feeling a little some way about it.
でも
他にもさ、いろいろやってくれてるんでしょ。宿題の答え知ってたり、給食とかなくしたノートも出てきたし。
違うんだっぴ。そのせいで静香ちゃんは今日こんな痛い思いをしたんだっぴよ。
学校さ、マリナちゃんのお父さんとうちのお母さんが仲良くなってから、ず
Oof.
ーっとこんな感じで。
僕は怯えて見てただけで何もしてあげられなくて。静香ちゃん、
Oof.
何も楽しくないし、マリナちゃんいるし。
It's more like, does her mom even care about her at this point in time? Nothing's fun anymore, and I had to face Marina-chan, so I hated my life. Yeah, would she even care? And at this point in time, I would say no. I think she's more of a burden to her mom, right? Or at least in her mom's perspective. Even though Shizuka-chan might be the sweetest girl out there, I'm not saying that she doesn't have any feelings or any like emotions in some capacity, right? But does she harbor feelings? Does she harbor like negative feelings or emotions? Yeah, she probably does. Absolutely. I know I would. I know I absolutely would harbor different feelings and emotions from it.
嫌なことばっかって思ってたけど。
Oh,
でも
today was a good
最
day.
近はちょっと悪くないん
Oh,
だ。
Shizuka. Oh my god. Shizuka. No.
静香ちゃん、ごめんね。
え？
Oh.
僕はダメだっぴけど、これからも君を助けるっぴ。
Because of his intervention, it's
君
been
がきっと
slightly better.
死んじゃったりなんかしなくていいように。
I still have to say that was like heartbreaking in of itself. The fact that they like, in the previous timeline, they let go of her dog and she hung herself. That for me breaks my heart because y'all don't even know how often like the situations like this happen in a similar manner, right? Where the people are holding on to the last thread of hope, and once that hope is gone, people will do most things, right? In case y'all don't know, I work, and you guys should know this. I work with all kinds of populations. One of those specialized populations being the homeless individuals, which we're helping out, or the unhoused population, and finding housing for them, and so on and so forth. A lot of these unhoused personnel have dogs, right, or cats that they consider family. Now, unfortunately, I've encountered this way too much where police will come and displace them from wherever they're setting up for the night, and they will take their dog away from them to the animal shelter, to a place where they can no longer pay the fine to get them out because they don't even have food to eat, but they did have food for the dog or for the pet that they were taking care of. And oftentimes that leads to a lot of these individuals losing all hope and ultimately taking their own life. A lot of people don't know how, like, the effect that a pet, an animal can have on us, right? In keeping us safe and safeguarding us and, like, making us feel not so lonely. Because I think that's a big battle that a lot of us have, is trying to not feel lonely. And dogs and cats and, all sorts of pets, even Discord, right? Our phones are a major anchor. Absolutely. Absolutely.
死ね。
放課後いじめ10連弾失敗するとかありえないんだけど。
So lame.
マジあいつなんなの
Oh,
報
I'm
酬。
glad.
調子乗りやがっ
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Don't tell me that dad was like, yeah, no. No. If mom takes it out on her, that would explain it. If mom takes it out on her and she takes it out on Shizuka, hurt people, right?
パパはお夕飯あの人と食べるそうだから。マリちゃんももう少し早く帰ってくれればいいのに。ママまた一人で怒られちゃった。マリちゃんはママの味方だよね。
Oh fuck. How many of y'all have been placed in this situation? Mom and dad are fighting and they make you pick a side. You're on mom's side, right? You're on dad's side, right? Oh, you're with me, right? You understand my pain, right? You're here with me, right? Oh, if only you were here earlier, dad wouldn't have gotten so mad. Mom wouldn't have gotten so mad. The manipulation that's coming from this, right? And the internal blaming that is going on to her, right? Where this is your fault. If only you were here earlier. If only you did this. And what's really ironic about it is she has a shirt that says love, right? But yet you can tell that that's the one thing that she needs the most. Marina-chan needs I'm immediately scared for her safety. She needs a loving, supporting environment because this is not it. Like I'd be terrified.
ママのお話聞いてくれるよね。
Look at that face. Oh God. Oh fuck. Yeah, hurt people, and that lighting in of itself. Oh fuck. I know. Uh-oh. But at least Shizuka gets to sleep peacefully tonight with her doggo. Still though, oh no. I got chills. I got fucking chills. What the fuck? This just keeps going in deep and deeper and deeper and just absolutely, yeah, hurt people legitimately, right? But like I this is one of those things as well where without going further into detail or without going that far into it, unfortunately you see this a lot with kids that are caught up in between like divorce, where they're placed in between a rock and a hard place, or whenever parents are struggling right in the relationship, and often that's where a lot of abuse and stuff starts to come out, and it's very unfortunate that, like, when kids have to go through that, because it changes their brain chemistry, right? It changes the way that they're able to perceive what is a normal, healthy relationship. And that's exactly what I fear about, about both of them, right? Both Shizuka and the other girl. Like, how will they grow up? Like, as adults, will they be able to recognize what is healthy and unhealthy, considering that this is what they're norming? Exactly, Marina. Could, yeah, absolutely could be a anime to hide the If you were Takopi, would you think that humanity is good or evil? Just out of this first episode, would you deem, you know what? Yeah, kids are good, kids are great, right? Like humanity's good, humanity's great, or would you be like, you know what? No, like I've been hurt, I've been everything. I think, does he have a concept of good and evil? Well, he clearly has a concept of like what he can and can't do, right? Because Mamo P was the one that told him, like, you know what, you shouldn't interfere, you shouldn't do this. So he has at least that basic concept of boundaries, right? Basic boundaries. But yeah, truly, does he understand what good or evil does, right? And even with him focusing on Shizuka at the moment, does that block his overall vision as to, or the overall scope as to what is there and how to actually resolve the issue, right? Like, what is the prominent issue at hand and how it can actually be solved? Because sometimes when you hyper focus in on one individual, you end up losing the whole thing, and that's a big thing. Does he have a good concept? I would think humanity is deeply hurt and I'd feel hopeless, but also would persist. I wouldn't think of them as good as bad. I'd probably be naive of that. But that's what Takopi is. Takopi is very naive. Takopi is very naive in his nature. And that's where we're finding that like they're getting hurt a lot, right? Because ultimately they're trusting a lot in Shizuka. They're trusting a lot in trying their own powers to try and resolve it, even though that situation might be out of their own control. Takopi is a baby. I know Takopi is a baby, but what an amazing, like, I know it's 30 minutes flew by in a pat, like flew by like that. But Takopi is such an amazing anime. Even that last little segment in there that we touched on has so much to talk about. In considering the fact that this is all jam packed in what, like 50 minutes, I believe was the first episode, or less than 50 minutes. And 37 minutes. And we've talked about this for over 2 hours and 30 minutes. Showcases that there's a lot to dissect, a lot to talk about. And parental dynamics and family dynamics and being able to go to make friends. This hurts. This anime hurts. And it's only 6 episodes. Chat, please do yourself a favor. Go watch, if you guys haven't seen Takopi's Original Sin, go watch Takopi's Original Sin. Check out the other 5 episodes. There's 6 episodes in total, to be able to go ahead and see that, right? It was so perfectly executed. Yeah, and that was so well done. Like that is one of like the lighting in the eyes and just like how you could tell what was about to happen. I got chills, and it's hard to get me chills like that. Like it was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. With that being said, we will be watching probably episode 2. I'm not going to say next stream or anything like that. Whenever we have an opportunity to stream again, we'll probably jump on through. And like if I have some spare time, we'll jump on through and do a part of episode 2. And we'll break them up into parts because they're more manageable for me as a streamer, as a content creator in that. You know, but with that being said, please practice some self-care. Please take care of yourselves, and please try and make the world a better place. Don't be a bully. Hurt people, but you can seek help for yourself. There are mental health professionals in your area that you can seek out that are readily available to help you in your hour of need. With that being said, practice some self-care. Leave a like, drop a comment down below, and I'll see you here hopefully for the next one, or for Frieden when that comes out. Frieden, ReZero, Moshiko Tensei, and Oshinoko. We'll see you guys later.